Due to the difficult nature of most towers in Eternal Towers of Hell, practicing has always been a key aspect of playing and progressing through the game. There is no doubt that you've practiced on a difficult tower within EToH in the past. That's if you even grind EToH as much. But let's face it, practicing towers for canon EToH has definitely been an issue for many. In my last video, I brought up the unreliability of the practice lobby of Hell, which it's seen as the comments definitely agreed upon. If you don't know what the practice lobby of Hell is the main source of practicing towers, usually played by hundreds of players at once, and it's under the ownership of the official EToH group. The practice game contains almost every tower within the difficulty range intense to catastrophic, which along with that comes some pit or misery towers, which you can find by the sign saying penguins from Madagascar, pointing to a one-stud gap that falls into the towers. But for a newer, less experienced player, the game can absolutely serve as a viable option for practice. However, the flaws of the practice game slowly begin to reveal itself the more experienced you become and the harder the towers you grind are. For most players, practice lobby of Hell isn't just the main source of practice, it's the only source of practice. First of all, EToH has no proper in-game practice feature. If anything, the only truly viable option for practice within canon EToH itself is vertical mobility, which is set behind a paywall of 5,000 Robux. Occasionally you can find Roblox games for certain towers for you to practice, but ultimately, the game with the towers you will want to practice are found in, well, you guessed it, practice lobby of Hell. The practice game is filled to the brim with flaws. First of all, the practice place comes with absolutely no customizability. What I mean by that, to be more specific, are the settings. To list some of the issues without settings, well, here's a few. For example, the game is missing the emo button, which is a setting enabled for many tower grinders. The game also does not have a physics fix, which also leads to major flaws within the Roblox R6 physics, such as ball physics and high FPS trust fix. The game provides a whopping 3 practice tools: no clip, heal, and block death, which, should I bring up that the block death tool in the game almost never works. There are also numerous instances in towers when there are bugs and flat out missing parts, which seem to always get immediately fixed within the game, but rarely ever in the practice lobby. Which, should I also mention, that whenever a tower in canon EToH either gets a bug fix or gets a few gameplay updates, the practice lobby rarely gets updated by the devs for players practicing the tower to actually try out the new changes. Now, I fully understand the staff team's priorities to update the game over the practice lobby to ensure that the main game itself is in good shape, but it's always worth noting the importance of practicing to the game and also should be given more priority. It seems as though the practice lobby is just left a game dust for players to grind towers that can have outdated and buggy gameplay, with absolutely no customization to insert vanilla features from the main game itself. I feel like my point is further proven by how long it takes the developers to add towers to the practice place whenever a new area or specific tower releases. It can take upwards of months for them to finally do so, and based on how rarely the update log in the lobby of the practice game is changed, you can only further tell the little care put into the practicing game that so many players rely on. There are definitely some very viable actions that the dev team can do going forward to fix the issues with practicing in the game. Easily the best and most viable option to this is to add a practice mode to the game. Being a scripter myself and knowing the capability of the staff team in EToH, this is a very simple yet effective approach, as not only allows customizable settings and always up-to-date gameplay, but always gives players a reason to stay in the main game longer to practice the tower that they desire to complete. This also allows the staff to stop coming back to the practice game to update the already poorly designed game and focus purely on the game itself. Or I guess another option is to completely revamp the current practice place. This option is a lot worse than the previous one, as it requires a much more effort and only continues the struggle for the staff to update towers from EToH to the practice game. In my opinion, it would make absolute sense to simply add a practice mode to the main game, as it is a complete win-win situation for both the devs and the players. Practicing in Eternal Towers of Hell has major flaws. The reasons core pinpointing down to the unreliability of what is the only source of practice to the broader community. I hope that in the future the devs will make the right step to make practicing better for the entire community. Thanks for watching, and happy practicing.